All right, folks, and welcome back to another episode of If My Heart Had Wings, an adventure of the visual novel. And we got the ability to make our first choice last segment on whether or not in that particular scenario to where we had just finished class and it was going to be the first day of possible pilot training. And Aoi and Kotori after class were going to wait for Agaha, but Agaha was staying behind to help some classmates with the assignments thereof because they just wanted a little extra lesson in that regard to gain understanding. Kotori, of course, became impatient and wanted to leave. Aoi, the kind person he is and also the kind person I am, I chose to wait for Agaha, just out of respect for the individual who asked me to wait. But of course, Kotori decided to just roll off on her own. Whatever's going on there. I almost want to say that it's a lover rivalry, maybe, but we'll find out in the long run. I don't know. But yes, the two of them did have an argument before, but I think they squashed all that by now. But I guess there enough days has not passed to where I guess the guilt of everything still splashes or whatever in that case. But yeah, then we found out that Agaha is a little bit jealous, and I would say more than likely because the two of them are childhood friends, and I guess it looks like that Aoi's spending more time with Kotori when in fact it's not out of any type of romantic affections as far as I can see. It's just simply he's the board mother, so he's doing his duty taking care of the boarders. Now, of course, Agaha used some type of reasoning claiming that one of her friends who also lives in the dormitory, he barely talks to her, but it's like, does she even engage with him in discussions? So I don't see how that can constitute as legitimate evidence to claim that he's only picking one person to actually engage with. And honestly, the person he's engaging with has kind of a disability, so it's like they sometimes need a little bit more attention, not because of any type of romantic affection, but simply because that's just the circumstances. But that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. If I'm missing something in that regard, or if I'm missing something related to the psychology of Agaha's reasoning, we're gonna find out anyway. So, Kaneko, if you could do the absolute honors.
前回のデータをロードしちゃうよ。
And with that, let's begin. How are we going to do the flight training? Once all of us second graders had gathered, I asked Amane. Amane has been playing around with a bundle of tangled PC cables, and we can only see her from the other side of the desk.
飛ぶんだ。
Flying? I imagined it would be something like doing weight training to build physical strength. But I still can't fly, can I? There's no way we can fly using those broken wings.
そこの壁際の荷物をどかせてくれ。
As requested, I tidy away the boxes piled up against the wall of the garage.
うわー、なんだかよくわかんないものが山盛りだね。
Since before Amane and the others started coming here, this garage has had many mysterious boxes and antique parts left inside.
なにこれ、なんでこんなところに剣とか槍があるの？こっちにヌンチャクあるよ。
Was this place once a dojo? There's a broken toy gun too. Of course, the sword and spear are well-made replicas. As for the other things, if I had bought them, I would think. Why the heck did I buy this? And would definitely regret buying them. And there are many things that look like souvenirs that were bought on school leaving trips. I could easily tell that the members of long ago made this garage their own.
できたわよ。よし、じゃあ電気を消してくれ。
Okay then. As the lights were turned off, the inside of the garage became pitch black. Amane was operating some kind of machine. Then on the wall, where all the boxes were before, a PC screen appears.
プロジェクターだ。映画館みたい。
Are we going to watch an instructional video?
葵くん、こっちへ来てくれ。
Better have some speakers for that. Sitting down in the chair that Amane had prepared, I was handed a computer game controller. What are we doing?
だから飛ぶんだよ。これはフライトシミュレータだ。
I figured as much. Unfortunately, it's not as advanced as the ones that commercial pilots use to learn how to fly. Flight simulator? I've heard of them, but I'm not exactly sure what they are.
ゲームみたいなものだ。フライトを疑似体験できる。
Do you have hydraulic systems that can control the movement of the chair as if he were flying?
実際に飛ばなくても、操作方法やグライダーで飛ぶ感覚はある程度身につけられるはずだ。よくわかんないけど、なんだかすごそうね。市販のやつですか？いや、自分で作った。これは風が浦の地形と我々のグライダーに特化したシミュレータだからな。
Fancy that. At Amane's command, the screen changes. The town of Kazegara, that we all know, shown as a landscape as viewed from the air, is projected onto the wall. This is shown in pretty CG, that is at least on the level of the cutscenes of RPGs on the latest consoles.
やっぱすごいよ、この人は。
Agaha mumbles while looking at the screen being projected.
昨日のうちにデータは最新のものにしておいたから、よりリアルな感覚で飛べるはずだ。
Okay. I show that I am impressed with Amane's amazing work and get myself fired up.
では始めるぞ。
A glider modeled in CG appears on the screen.
操作を覚える前にグライダーの動きについて説明するぞ。グライダーの運動は縦軸、横軸、垂直軸、この3つの軸を回転する動きで説明できる。まずはローリング。
On the screen, the longitudinal axis that runs along the length of the fuselage and the movement based on rotation on the axis were displayed. This movement is called rolling.
次にピッチング。
This time, the lateral axis coming out sideways from the fuselage and the movement based on rotation is the axis on this axis were shown. This movement raises and lowers the nose and is known as pitching.
そして最後はヨーイング。
Going through the fuselage vertically was the vertical axis, and the movement based on rotation along this axis was displayed. This movement, yawing, moves the nose left and right.
この3つがグライダーの基本的な動きだ。わかるか？
Yeah, I think so.
グライダーがどんなに複雑なマニューバーを描いているように見えても、実はこの3つの動作の組み合わせによるものなんだ。だからパイロットはこの3つの動きを操作するだけでいい。
I see. So the basics are quite simple then. Otori and Agea are listening to the conversation and nodding along.
じゃあそれを踏まえた上で実際に操縦してみよう。
Amane selects the mode on the PC and the screen changes again. The sky and the horizon are projected across the wall.
これはコックピットから見た映像ですか？ああ、そうだ。へえ、こんな風に見えるんだ。
It doesn't really feel like it's moving forward at all.
離陸と着陸、特殊な状況を除いて君が操作するものは2つ。操縦桿とラダーペダルだ。
I've seen the cockpit many times, so I know about that. The yoke is the stick that comes out from between the pilot's legs. I've seen some scenes in movies where pilots are flying fighter planes, and the yoke is the thing that they are holding on to. It has a button on it, and if you push it, it launches missiles. Of course, the glider doesn't have anything like that. It's like the steering wheel in a car. Then there are the left and right rudder pedals, one of each, and are operated by pushing them with your feet.
それぞれコントローラーに対応している。左のアナログスティックが操縦桿。LR ボタンがラダーペダルだ。
I try the analog stick and the LR buttons on the gamepad. It's a little slow, but the field of vision in the center of the screen swings round. Whoa!
無茶をするとストールして墜落するから気をつけろ。
Yeah, so if you're wondering what stalling is, that's when the aircraft runs out of speed that creates the lift needed. So if you lose lift, then of course the plane is going to fall out of the sky. So that's a very bad thing to happen. And on the commercial airliners, as a matter of fact, there's warning systems in there that actually warns the pilots of that. One of it is called the stick shaker. So the stick shaker is basically the column, the control column that they use to steer the plane. It vibrates. And by their training, whenever the plane is going to stall in that regard, it warns them when the plane is close to stalling. So when that happens, by their training, the pilot actually is supposed to push the stick forward, which actually pitches the nose down, which will give them more airspeed, and they may also increase power to the airliner, therefore building up more airspeed, which will create more lift on the wings, therefore stabilizing the plane in the air. But if the pilot does not do this, if he does not push the stick forward, there's also a safety system in place to where the plane itself can actually push the stick forward and regain the airspeed and keep it there until the plane escapes from the stall. Again, I watch a lot of episodes of air crash investigations. Oh, okay.
操縦桿だが、これはさっき説明した3つのうち2つ。ローリングとピッチングを操作できる。左右に倒せば、その方向に機体がロールする。
I move the analog stick, in other words, the yoke, slowly to the left. It's a little slow, but the aircraft responds. The horizon in the middle of the screen leans to the right.
操縦桿を倒すと、どうして機体が傾くの？いい質問だ。それは、操縦桿でエルロンを操作しているからだ。
That's right, it's the ailerons. So on the wings, you may notice, especially if you've ever been in flight, those flaps that are more on the back of the wings, just close to the edge of them, those are the ailerons. So what those do is those will actually control the actual bank. See, that's another thing, is another term is they use called bank, which is banking left or right. But in this case also you can roll. So oftentimes in commercial aircraft, they tend to, if they want to turn, they actually use the ailerons to actually roll the plane either to the left or the right. And also there's another set of flaps on there called spoilers. They're on the top of the wing. So what those can do is those can actually create drag on the wing, which would lowers the amount of lift. And that also helps so the plane kind of turns.
エルロン？
It's like Kotori has a big question mark on her face as she hears that unfamiliar word.
主翼についている補助翼のことだ。主翼の外側の後ろについていて、操縦桿を左に倒せば、左翼のエルロンが上がり、右翼のエルロンが下がる。そうすると、左翼の揚力は減少。逆に、右翼の揚力は増大するから、機体は左にバンク。つまり、傾いて旋回をする。
Hey, I just mentioned that word. Whoops, I left the reverb on. I just mentioned that word banking. Leaning and turning, huh? It's the same as a bicycle. A bicycle has a handlebar, but you don't turn by moving it left and right. You turn by leaning the bike.
操縦桿を使ったもう一つの操作、ピッチングについてだが、ピッチングとは 要は機首を上げ下げする動きのことだ。操縦桿を後ろに引けば頭が上がり、前に倒せば下がる。
I tried pushing the yoke forward. Whoa! The screen moves and the percentage of the screen filled with the ground increases. The aircraft points downwards and I feel a much greater sense of speed.
機首を下に向けると機体は下降していくが、その分速度が増す。
I see. Folks, I just noticed that my face in particular is actually blocking Amane, so I'm just going to actually drop it because I actually have it cut off just a bit. So I'm just going to drop mine out of I'm just going to drop it out of the picture for now. There we go. You don't need to see me. I imagine it sliding down on the air. This time, I tried pulling the yoke back. I was no longer able to see the horizon. It felt like I was floating in. I realized the speed was dropping.
これはどうやって操作しているの？またさっきのエルロン？
Nope, that would be the rear rudder.
いや違う。以前紙飛行機で実験しただろ。機体の上下の動きを制御していたのは。
When Kotori was playing around with the tails on the paper airplanes, she made one do a beautiful loop-the-loop.
あ、水平尾翼。
Amane nods her head as if to say, well done.
ピッチング。つまり上下の動きは水平尾翼についたエレベータという舵で操作する。
Yep, the elevator. We've heard of an elevator before, of course, but this was different to the type that goes up and down in buildings.
通常機首を上げれば揚力は高まる。
In other words, the aircraft will rise.
だが上げすぎると逆に揚力を失うことになる。気流が翼面に沿って流れることができなくなり、剥離してしまうからだ。この現象をストールという。揚力を失うとどうなるかは説明するまでもないな。
Yep, you don't. You can't fly if there's no lift, and it will inevitably fall.
そうなったらもう落ちるしかないんですか？いや、立て直すことは可能だ。ストールはどんな時にも起こり得るから、ストールからの回復訓練はしっかり積んでおく必要がある。
Okay. When it is suggested that falling is a possibility, I find it hard to breathe. When you're flying through the air, even a tiny mistake can cost you your life.
試しに一度落ちてみようか。
Huh? Amane pulls back hard on the analog stick. The nose points further and further upwards, and then...
臨界無改革を超えた。ストールしたぞ。
Oh my, my, my. The aircraft stopped moving as if it was floating, and the next moment, the screen started spinning like crazy as it began hurtling towards the ground. Well, that was dramatic.
ゲームオーバーって。
Yeah, it would definitely be game over.
とまあこんな感じだ。訓練ではわざとストールやスピンを起こしてそこから回復する練習をするんだ。実際に空でやると怖いぞ。死ぬかと思うぞ。
If you're scared of heights, maybe that really is true. Because of how well the simulation is made, I got a powerful enough impression just from the graphics. Amane selects the mode and once again we start flying.
で、次はラダーペダル。
In the simulator, this is controlled with the L and R buttons.
これはラダーを操作するわけだが、ラダーとは日本語で方向だという。垂直尾翼についている。右を踏めば機首が右を向き、左を踏めば機首が左を向く。ヨーイングの動きを制御するんだ。 横を向くの？でも曲がるときは主翼についてるエルロンを使うんでしょ？エルロンだけで旋回した場合、グライダーは正面を向いたままバンクした内側に滑っていくように移動することになる。どういうこと？前を向いたまま斜めに進むってことじゃない
？Amane nods.
そこで同時にラダーを操作してやり、旋回したい方向へ頭を向けてやるんだ。
Like the handlebars on a bicycle. Yep, folks, but let me tell you something. When in commercial aircraft also, as one accident occurred where there was a bit of heavy crosswind that caused a significant amount of turbulence in one airliner, there was basically it was a situation to where it was actually improper pilot training, to where the pilot actually was to be very aggressive with the rudder pedals, which made it go from end to end, which means it would force the vertical rudder all the way to the left and all the way to the right to try to stabilize the plane. But unfortunately, at that speed, that was a lot of stress on the tail. So what ended up happening because of that, it actually broke the tail fin off. And of course, the plane ended up actually falling from the sky because just that one issue actually caused a major catastrophe. You know, there's other stuff that's involved, but of course they've learned from those lessons long ago, and now they're in the training. That is no longer required. As a matter of fact, they tell you to do something completely different from that. So you don't want to apply too much pressure on the tail fin, and it doesn't take much, especially at high speeds. Anyone who's ever familiar with driving, you'll know that when you go into a turn, you don't have to turn the wheel very hard, because at the speed you're going, in many cases you're covering a lot of distance. So to engage in that turn, you don't have to turn the wheel very hard. So it's kind of the same thing here. Just very light movements that will actually get you to turn or maneuver whatever you need. While leaning the bike, you turn the handlebars in that direction. If you don't, you won't be able to turn well. Using bicycles as an example, leaning the bike left or right is like the ailerons, and the handlebars are like the rudder.
なるほど。旋回したいときはエルロンとラダー両方が必要と。そうだ。けどそれだけじゃまだ不十分だ。旋回中、機体を傾けると揚力が減るので、機体が大きく降下してしまう。なるべく高度を保ったまま旋回するには、操縦桿を横に倒しながら少しだけ後ろに引いてやる必要があるんだ。
That explains why when the plane is turning, I feel a little bit of as if the plane is lifting up a bit. When you turn, you must use all of the axis at the same time. Using what and when looks like it's quite intuitive.
以上。飛んでいる時に必要な操作はこれだけだ。
After ending her explanation, Amani turned on the lights.
結構簡単なのね。
Simple, but execution is a whole different concept.
そうだね。
When I heard unfamiliar words like aileron and rudder, it sounded complicated, but once I tried it, it was quite easy. Moving the yoke backwards, forwards, left and right, and pressing the left and right pedals, that's all there is to it.
アクロバットでもしない限り難しい操作はほとんどない。グライダー乗りに必要なのは風を見つける能力なんだ。
Find the wind?
どこにどんな風が吹いているか、サーマルはどこにあるのか、そうして見つけた風に上手に乗ることができるかどうか。
So you mean you need knowledge, experience, and intuition?
そんなところだな。景気類の見方はおいおい覚えてもらうとして、まずは慣れることだな。
This is true.
あとはこっちのパソコンの画面で練習してみてくれ。
Okay, got it. I sat down in front of the PC and started practicing immediately. club activities have finished, and we're on the way home.
あーずい。
Ageha is fanning the chest of her sweat-drenched uniform. She sees me looking. Aoi, focus.
おう？なになに？何見てんの？
Focus. She senses me looking at her chest and asks cheerfully, You know, you should try to be a little more ladylike.
しょうがないじゃん。胸が一番汗かくんだもん。これって女らしいってことじゃない？
She asks as she carries on fanning herself. I get a slight feeling that she's trying to show me.
ガレージのエアコン弱くない？お尻が蒸れちゃうんだけど。
Says Kotori as she wrinkles her backside around. When it comes to these two, it's spacious and there's no effective heat insulation from the ceiling. It's like a prefabricated building. There's no attic, and the heat from the sun transfers directly to the inside. Even if we turn on the air conditioning, it only has half the effect.
ロボット部よりかはマシよ。あっちは人数多いからムシムシするのよね。汗で。
Listening to Agaha's story, Kotori makes a face that says, Ew!
さてと、私こっちだから。
We get to the usual fork in the road, where Agaha leaves us to go in the other direction.
じゃあね。
Hey, Agaha. You want to get some ice cream from the convenience store?
いいけど、なんで急に？
You two were saying how hot it is, and I suddenly felt like eating some. You want to eat one too, Kotori?
いいけど。
Why would she be hesitating, and she's the one that likes ice cream the most out of all of them? Kotori seems to be thinking about Agaha being there when she answers. Okay, let's go. I start walking ahead. Attaboy, Aoi. In the convenience store parking lot, I bite into the ice cream that I had bought. Hanging out in front of the convenience store is one of the privileges of being a high school student. Agaha got watermelon flavor, Kotori got chocolate chip, and I chose vanilla monaka.
ハバネさんはカップ派か。棒のアイスは途中で溶けてきて手がベトベトするから好きじゃないの。
Got it. Seems like everyone has their own preferences when it comes to ice cream.
ねえ葵、シミュレーターどうだった？
I still don't really understand it. It was pretty tricky.
どこがどう難しいの？
It just feels kind of inconvenient, you know? When I think about doing something, I'm not able to do it quickly. The feeling I get when I move it and the speed, it's quite easy to steer though.
エルロンもラダーもエレベーターも風を受けなきゃ効果ないもんね。
That's right. Using the power of the wind to control the position of the aircraft. Of course, if the wind is strong, small movements of the controls have a big effect, and vice versa. However, the glider doesn't have an engine. You can't easily speed up or slow down. If you do one thing, it affects everything else, and that's what makes it difficult. You can't just think about the current situation, you have to act accordingly to what will happen next. It means that experience is needed to ride this thing.
乗ってて気持ちよかった？
Well, to be honest, the simulator didn't feel that good at all. You were watching the screen, right?
なんていうか、すごいもどかしい感じだった。3D のシューティングゲームに比べると圧倒的に爽快感がなかったわね。
Yeah, that's true.
実際に飛ぶのとはやっぱり違うのかな？
I think so. I can imagine that somehow. How would it feel to fly through the sky in that thing? I wonder. Still feels a bit unclear.
いいなあ。私も飛んでみたい。シミュレートならやってみればいいんじゃない？
You can control everything with your hands.
いい。今は葵くんがやるべき時だから。
I'll be patient for now. That's what it seemed she was saying. Without thinking, Agaha and I look at each other.
じゃあ、早いとこ翼を作って実際に飛べるようにしないとね。
Yeah. If I can quickly become able to fly by myself, I can take Kotori with me. I might be getting ahead of myself, but it's good to have a target.
チェー、外れか。残念。
Agaha finished eating her ice cream and threw the stick into the trash can. I finished eating too, so I throw my Monaka wrapper into the trash can. Kotori was still eating and hurriedly ate the last of her chocolate chip ice cream. It wasn't as bad as Amane, but the way she ate kind of ruined her pretty girl image. Then she rushed over in the wheelchair and came to throw the cup into the trash can. Does she think that if she doesn't do it quickly, we'll leave her behind? Irony. While we were away from Kotori, Ageha had come up beside me.
気を使ってくれてありがとう。
What do you mean?
とぼけちゃって。私とハバネさんのために誘ってくれたんでしょ？
I don't know. Did I? Looking at me, as I quietly played dumb, Ageha smiled cheerfully.
あ、お待たせ。
You didn't need to rush that.
それじゃあ帰りますか。また明日ね。
Yeah, see ya.
さようなら。
We see Agaha off as she waves her hand, then I push Kotori's wheelchair along the road back to the dormitory. Alrighty, folks, with that, we're actually going to put a bookmark there as soon as we get to the next slide, and then we'll put a bookmark right there because we are actually over time, but I did that on purpose because I wanted to find a spot to... Alright, and with that, we'll find out what she's referring to on the next episode there. Sorry, that was a bit weird. But yeah, so that was interesting. So we learned how to fly and everything, and yeah. In commercial aircraft, obviously, you know, there's a bit more to it, but the one thing that actually is with this case is, of course, you need some strength with gliders because, one, you're actually controlling everything with your own bare strength. Now, obviously, with a commercial airliner, there's no way you could do that with just your bare strength. So you have hydraulic systems that help you, that actuate, you know, hydraulic actuators and everything. So hydraulic fluid is basically the blood of the vessel. But also, there's one other thing that's on larger airplanes, and those are the wing flaps. And oftentimes, you see those extend and retract at certain times. They extend primarily on takeoff and landing. And this is because to add with basically more surface area, because at lower speeds, by adding more surface area to the wings, you can get more lift at lower speeds. So that's one of the reasons to do that. Otherwise, you'd have to move faster with that lack of surface area to be able to maintain lift. Now, if there's anyone who's ever done skydiving, or in the case, indoor skydiving, that definitely becomes prevalent when you're doing that. I've done indoor skydiving once. I actually want to go back and actually learn how to do all the other cool stuff. I will not ever actually skydive. It's just one thing that's just not within me to do. But this episode was definitely fun, especially learning about the different properties of being able to fly and being able to maneuver. So with that, if you liked what you saw today, maybe leave a like. And if you want to see more, maybe hit that subscribe button. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.